anyways, I'm going to stop rambling because we are going HBZ versus Virtual Selection here on the NS2 World Championship Qualifier matches. The map, as you see, is none other than Summit. And we got Virtual Selection starting up in Atrium. Cross-spawns are active, so HBZ starting down in Sub-Access, doing a 4-1 split. All of Virtual Selection coming down and splitting off into Data Core, 4 into Data Core, 1 going Gorge, and you got Benny here in Crossroads as well. Down here in Computer Lab, Biohazard building up that RT, Depara and Bixum here in Crossroads looking north and shooting a little bit of pot shots at Benny right now. If you guys are wondering why during this cast that I will not be going into first-person spec, then you don't know about the little bug that we found out of what first-person spec does. Basically, it creates a warp on the person that I'm specking if my ping differential is too great. So I don't do it anymore to not mess up teams. So actually, just so you know, my death cam was actually real in past games. Oh, Benny's going to get caught right there. So that is why. So you guys are going to see a lot of top-down view, and a lot of free cam as I get it. I do love the new addition in 261 of being able to turn on my flashlight in spec mode, see, and make these guys glow through walls. And I can basically see the action and what's happening and who's setting up for an ambush and stuff. So it's pretty great. Anyway, so back to the game as a little bit of positioning has been happening in this. We have Depara and Bixum that have moved completely into Atrium at this point. Solus as the Gorge. Benny now in here trying to figure out what to do. And they have to push these guys out. There's the egg spawn. There's the spawn wave. And most of them are going to come up and try to clean this up. Bixum taking out another egg. Depara going down to Narco. And Bixum is still alive, taking down Narco with a pistol and Benny with a pistol. What was I saying about that one-man army? Bixum is now here. He's running away. He's looking for a med pack. One has been dropped, and Solus is still trying to gorge spin him out of there as Lucho tries to come in here. While this fight is happening and that cleanup is going to happen, we have Depara and Biohazard basically slapping Hoey off this Computer Lab RT as they move towards Crossroads. We got Peepo moving down into ventilation, biting this extractor. Ludwig taking down Benny and Lucho by himself in flight control. A lot of these multiple kills by basically one Marine, which is great. So we're seeing Bixum, and Peepo is right underneath. Bixum knows that he's there. He's going to try to get this shot. And he does. Peepo doesn't even realize that that was going to happen. We're seeing that Depara and Biohazard has moved. Look at that shot from right there. Benny goes down. Lucho now, the lurk on the field. They're going single lurk. Which is kind of a little bit weird. I mean, we've been seeing lately that double lurk has been so great with teams and really helpful just because of the mobility, and they're kind of like your first responders in that early game. Bixum and Razgul here in Data Core while we see them putting pressure here. Peepo, Hoey, and Lucho responding to this. Bixum taking down Hoey, Peepo taking down Razgul. Bixum the only one left. Here comes Solus as that Gorge. Bixum is still alive after all this, and pistols down a Skulk. This guy is on fire. 6-1 is his KD right now. This guy's a one-man army. Lucho and Solus in here. Bixum now really low. More med packs being dropped on him. He gets some backup from Depara, and they push Lucho out of there, who has really low health. He's got to get out there, and he's got to heal, and we're seeing that Solus now is around the crag trying to heal this up, waiting for reinforcements. Here comes Peepo running over Bixum. Finally, that guy dies. Razgul here in the corner, and we're seeing Peepo ran over Depara here on the other side of the room as well. Meanwhile, on the other side of the map in Computer Lab, we see an extractor going down to Benny and Hoey. Hoey gets tagged by Biohazard coming around the corner. Gorge Tunnel up here in Data Core, going all the way to Crevice. And we're seeing that Lucho is here right outside flight control, trying to get a couple pot shots down with his spikes against Bixum and Biohazard, who are moving in. This dynamic duo moving now into flight control against Benny and Lucho. Lucho really can't sustain in a fight, it looks like. And it looks like he is definitely going to not be able to hold that. We see Lucho has relocated to the crossroads, takes down Depara from the back. We see Peepo and Solus here coming down after Razgul from Ventilation, leaving Ventilation RT at 57%, and that is open. Benny now trying to work on the RT and crossroads, gets taken down by Bixum as well. And 3 Marines now moving out of crossroads. Nope, Ludwig is turning around and he's going to head back. Biohazard and Bixum now moving after Hoey and Lucho here. Nice little clog wall here to stop them from coming in. Lucho takes down Bixum. Razgul takes down Solus somewhere on the map, and Biohazard goes down to Lucho's spikes, but so he takes down his own teammate Hoey as well. Depara and Razgul here in Ventilation. We see Peepo and Ludwig moving in after Benny, and it doesn't look Ludwig is going to have... Oh my god, never mind! Benny and Peepo go down to Ludwig. Fantastic. Depara comes around the corner. This is very, very strong play from HBZ. They seem to be doing such a great job on this map and stopping Virtual Selection's advancement everywhere. Now, in terms of resources, though, I think that both teams have been doing quite well. Look at the resource towers. Only 3 lost for HBZ 6 minutes in, so Virtual Selection needs to kind of step up the game of taking down these extractors. Otherwise, HBZ is just going to continue getting more money in and just being able to pump out these upgrades. They're already at Weapons 1, Armor 1, and they have an observatory. Now, the one in flight control is under fire. Biohazard is not going to get there in time. And we're seeing now that Depara and Ludwig here in Reactor Core. Peepo making the jump. And we're seeing all that goes down. Ludwig is left. Great cleanup there by Virtual Selection. HBZ was at 5. They're going to be at 5 again. They just cleaned up flight control. They lost it, but they're putting it back up. Recapping is so important in this game. But look at the resource towers right now. Only lost just a bit. But the thing to pay attention to here is that HBZ hasn't taken down any extractors yet. Which actually could be a problem later on. We see Peepo and Hoey are in eggs, and they are going to be popping out as fades right now, and they are as fades. Benny at 43 P-Res, and it looks like he is going to be the Ono saver, and here comes the fades on the map. Bixum makes a jump, and there he goes. And into flight control fight, we see Luxum. Bye, Bixum. Peepo and Hoey here in flight control, moving down into computer lab. This is a really good stop here. I really like what Virtual Selection has done here in the beginning. Now, let's just look at the team kills, 28 to 22. Now, a lot of those kills that HBZ has been in ahead has been at the really early starts of the game. Now, things could actually change if they're... Oh, no! No, 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 no! Oh, flash fade! Hoey gets stuck right here on the corner. It looks like he couldn't move, either that or he was out of energy. I couldn't catch that, but wow, flash fade down. That's what HBZ needed to do. They needed to get these down. Bixum now. Lucho in flight control, trying to do his best to hold them off. People about to... Oh, man, he was about to blink in to Razgul and Biohazard. I mean, he did. He's actually still engaging in this fight. This is not good. Really low on there. I don't know why he would re-engage in that. Depara now moving here into data core, putting a lot of pressure. We see over in flight control, Bixum up against Lucho. Hoey coming around the corner, trying to take Bixum down. This one-man army taking down Hoey. And he gets taken down at the kneecaps by Benny. We're also seeing Ludwig and Depara continuing their assault here on the southern end of data core. We're seeing here Biohazard is up against Peepo, gets taken down here in reactor core. And we're seeing Benny, 64% on the Computer Lab RT. We got Crossroads RT is being attacked, which is great. Peepo could not land any swipes here against Depara. Finally taking him down. Solus continuing on that. Bixum coming around the corner. And it looks like he is going to try to get caught by Lucho. Lucho, watch out! And finally, Lucho gets out of there with very low health. Look at that. I mean, blackbarred, basically. Solus now moving through with Peepo. And we got Biohazard and Razgul coming through Pipe Junction. Peepo standing around here on the north side. It looks like they're going to try to trap these guys. And Peepo does come in, successfully tagging Biohazard. Razgul ends up going down as well in a flurry of teeth and claws. We see Solus and Hoey here in ventilation. They're going to take this down. This is pretty good game. Even with their fade, Hoey, that got lost early in the game, this could still be anyone's game. I like how Virtual Selection is continuing to hammer HBZ's economy, and that could be the nail in the coffin for this game. Look at this. They're going to drop HBZ down to 1. That is really bad. If HBZ cannot establish this control here in Crossroads and lose it, then, I mean, they're out. They do end up pushing it away. They do end up holding that phase gate. That is like their lifeline on this map. But that is going to allow Virtual Selection to assist here into flight control. Virtual Selection now growing their 5th Harvester. It's not looking good for HBZ. And now we see Peepo here taking down Biohazard here in ventilation. Bixum here now in Crossroads. Moving with Depara. Peepo coming around the corner. Being very, very aggressive, Peepo. And now that these shotguns are out, Peepo's got to be careful on this. Couple good tags, and, you know, he could really, really get hurt right there. Seeing he's still engaging here. That was below 50% health. We're seeing now Lucho and Benny right outside Crossroads up against Razgul. Biohazard and Depara in there holding that down. Lucho still holding on to his lurk after all this time. And we're seeing Peepo now up against Ludwig, who has just an LMG. Easy takeout from Peepo. HBZ is going to need to reestablish control here in ventilation, reestablish control in Computer Lab to, to have any chance in there. They need to reestablish their economy. Look at these resources, 377 to 429. Resource towers, 9 to 1. That is just not good. And look at this base rush right now. 2 of the skulks go down really quick. Oh no! He has no energy! Peepo almost not having energy to get out of there. So that base rush kind of fails at that point. Razgul and Depara now here in Crevice. Peepo is here trying to figure out what to do. If he should engage, he definitely shouldn't. He's going to back off just a bit. Peepo now up against Ludwig. Escapes through the vents. Very good job, Ludwig and Biohazard. And now they're going to try to trap him. Benny coming around the corner. They're definitely going to try to trap him. Bixum on the other side. Peepo is stuck. They are going to hold right here on both sides. And Peepo's coming out. Gets out just in time. They're going to work on this phase gate. And they end up getting it down. That is really bad. Oh, and the lurk gets tagged by Biohazard as he was trying to escape. Let's take a look at these kills. 43 to 34. So while HBZ has taken out Lifeforms and has, they've won most of their engagements, look at the map control. They have not been able to establish any type of map control, or at least hold it for a good amount of time on this map. And Peepo, gosh, he is so greedy. He's such a greedy fade. And we got Benny now as that Onos on the field up against Biohazard and Ludwig. He runs over Ludwig, runs over Biohazard, and there they go. There's no defense against this that HBZ really has. They only have weapons 2, armor 2, shotguns. That's really it. And they're going to end up losing this. They're going to have to GG at this point. I mean, the only thing I can see them doing is grouping up together and doing a concerted push and trying to push one of the hives, and then when the aliens respawn, taking down the life forms. But that's a hell of a stretch. We see Lucho is back as that lurk. He did get it back. Power is down here in Crossroads. It's been scanned down. Lurk upgrades, Gorge upgrades, full shells, full spurs for Virtual Selection. Umbra is out. Lucho, Hoey, and Peepo. Peepo really low. Wow! Peepo 20% engaging in these fights. Razgul and Depara trying to establish frantically some of this res here in Computer Lab. Lucho spotting that out, and this one is going to get engaged pretty soon. They're just not going to allow them to do this. The Onos is there in flight control. You can see Bixum running for his life, and Razgul peeks around the corner and says, "Oh shit, I'm out of here." I mean, yeah, I would run from that too if I didn't have jets. Razgul getting oh, people! Right here! From a pistol shot from over here. Look at that. Yeah, and Peepo's like, really? That was beautiful. Oh, man, where did that guy come from? All right, wow. That was a great shot from here to here. I mean, great shot there. We see Benny and Hoey now. Teams having a little fun with each other right now in chat. Benny and Hoey right now in Computer Lab. We have two Onai on the field. Solus dropped his Gorge and went Onos. He's now up against Depara here. I mean, HBZ has really nothing to do. HBZ has really nothing to do at this point. I mean, they're just going to get crushed on this side, crushed on the other side, and it's going to be pretty tough. So Benny, Lucho, and Solus now here with Umbra. There's the beacon. Oh, and the observatory gets killed. And everyone is now here in the base. There's the GG by Depara. Well fought for Virtual Selection. HBZ, well played in their beginning game, but then they just lost it. And as you can see, with the kills, well, Virtual Selection evened it up when those Onai came out on the field, but HBZ was doing really well in engagements. In terms of individual skill with shots versus Skulks, they were way better than Virtual Selection. But Virtual Selection did really well, used those fades really well, used pack play really well, and were able to control the rest of the map.